Hello, Stefano. Could you please turn on your mic and camera?
Perfect. Can you hear
Okay.
me? Yeah.
Yes, of course. So
Good.
thank you very much for being on time. It's a pleasure to talk to you after a while. So before beginning, let me just give you a small introduction about the paper. So you already know what I'm working on, and we have did a similar project in the past. If you remember the creative project which we have done, so I'm taking it forward in my doctoral research. So I'm doing a deep dive research on techniques and a business model, particularly in upcycling. So welcome. So could you please introduce yourself for my audience?
Okay, I'm Stefano Venchiarutti. I opened in 2009 my own agency, Les Gentils Parisiens. I do fashion, design, style, and trends. Sorry, consultancy around fashion, interior design, and creative direction. So the idea is to propose a global creative direction. At the beginning, I used to work for different companies as a fashion designer in France, Italy, and Japan. And at the same time, I proposed some lectures in some fashion and business schools around luxury, around fashion, and sustainability.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So when someone asks you, what do you do? And would you say you are a designer or would you say you are a teacher?
Ah, no, no, I'm not a teacher because teacher, it's a very small in my schedule. I'm more, yes, a designer or creative director. And
Mhm.
what is interesting, it's not about, it's not only fashion about, it's not about fashion only, but it's about communication, events as well. So it's something very, very global because when we speak of creative direction, we speak, for example, with the five senses. We speak of the visual identity, but we speak also of the olfactive identity, and so on and so on. So for this reason, it's something very, very global. And the idea is to have something coherent with everything and with the strategy of the brand and the market and trends at the same time.
Okay, it's interesting. Yeah, of course. So let's start with my first question. Since you are in a luxury industry quite a while, and the recent scenario about the luxury industry due to this trade war, many of the Chinese manufacturers they try to expose the luxury industry by. I'm sure you have been seen the trend. So you are into a point where you are into luxury and sustainability. So how do you define sustainable luxury brand?
Yeah. So let's speak of sustainability. To my mind, when we speak of sustainability, we speak of eco-friendly products and production. We speak of ethic as well, especially for the production, for example, to be sure the production is not made by children, for example, or to be sure that people have security when they work and a decent salary. And the third thing for me, it's inclusivity. When we speak of sustainability, we have to speak of inclusivity uh, because it's something to be proud of after. So luxury, when we speak of real luxury, because today, it's more or less a marketed luxury, not always real one. It's a question of money, it's a question of business. But when we speak of real luxury, we speak of sustainability because, for example, if you have a very good a product with a very good quality, this product is sustainable because you don't trash it like others. You can this product can have a second life and then a third life as well, because it's made with nice material, good products, and so on, good materials. So for this reason, real luxury is by definition sustainable.
Okay. Yeah, coming to sustainability, we have worked on a sustainable project. We have worked on a creative project which was sustainable. I'm sure you have worked on many such projects, out of which project was most challenging for you to work on in terms of upcycling or recycling? Is there any projects you have closely engaged with?
Um, for me, uh, one one project in the past was in Africa.
Mhm.
It was in Senegal. I did the creative direction with young designers, and they work with upcycling different elements, different objects from the everyday life. For example, metallic cans, tires, and so on and so on. And for me, it was incredible to see that creativity, because when we speak of sustainability, we have to speak of creativity. It's something very important. And with uh, elements, with objects from the everyday lives, they made some accessories, shoes, bags, and so on. And for me, uh, it was a kind of lesson, because to see that with nothing we can do something very, very interesting. And it's not a question of money. It's not a question of fame as well. It's a question of the energy we can make in create something we can put on it, in fact.
Okay. So, since I just want to go back to your sustainability. Do you think that sustainable narrative, which brands are investing a lot of money to tell the story of the product, saying that, our product is made in a good place where we don't employ the children and everything is ethical. Do you think the modern consumer care about the story of the product? Because, a regular consumer only check the price and the product. They don't care about who made it, where was it made with the children or not. So do you think is it important to invest in storytelling and narrative based marketing?
In fact, to my mind, it's important if it's real, if it's not greenwashing, because the greenwashing is really, for
Yeah,
me, the the enemy for sustainability. Because of course, when we speak of fashion, when we speak of luxury concerning production, personally, I don't speak of sustainability, but I speak of ASAP, not as soon as possible, but as sustainable as possible,
yeah,
because the 100% sustainability doesn't
it's not
exist.
possible.
It's
Yeah, yeah, of course.
impossible. And for this reason, if we are honest, we can speak about it, we can show, and it's important to show what we do, and just to explain people, just storytelling at the beginning, and since not about only storytelling, but about the code, the identity of a brand. It's a way to teach, a way to learn what the brand is, what the values of the brand are, and so on and so on. And for this reason, it's very, very important to show, to explain the fights of this brand concerning this point, because it's a question of transparency. And of course, when we can be transparent, when we are proud of what we do, we can show it and we can speak about it. So for me, it's very important just to teach, just to learn what we are, what we do, and what the people are buying. So it's a question of education, and I think it's very important. But again, if it's true.
Yeah, sure. So, apart from being a designer and a luxury brand consultant, you are also a teacher. So, when mentoring the future designers, what is that blind spot you're seeing, and how do you think that future designers could fill the blind spot in the perspective of sustainable and circular fashion?
So the blind point for me, it's what I said before. It's greenwashing. It's about the what I can say. I can call it the marketing, unmarketed sustainability. For example, when we speak of uh, vegan leather, for example, for me, it's not sustainable because, of course, elements are coming from nature, mushrooms, apple and so on, apples and so on and so on. But in order to make this material, they need material from petrol, from oil, in fact. So it's plastic, in fact. It's okay. But we don't speak of plastic because it's not very interesting concerning marketing. So for this reason, it's important to be aware of what is real sustainable and what is only communication, because it's about communication, of course. And unfortunately, what I see today, uh, I'm sad because we don't do fashion anymore. We do communication. And for me, it's a bit sad because we don't show we don't speak of the reality, and we don't show it. And for this reason, I think it's important for them to be aware of what is the reality or not. And for this reason, um, I when I work with them, I I want them to make an inside work, I will say, to make introspection, because and to say to themselves what do they want, what do they want for the future, what kind of world they want to leave to their children, and so on and so on. So it's a question of it's of personal uh, uh, points. In fact, it's and don't think about business, don't think about fame, and so on. Think only of what do you want, you as a designer, for you, your family, your and your clients. So it's more question of philosophy, I will say, more than question of money. But unfortunately, we are in a society where
Money
fame
comes
and
first, yeah.
exactly. So but sometimes, you've got people, of course, it's very hard for them because everything is made uh, for show off people or not for them. But I trust in the future with this kind of people because they work, they and maybe they can change the world one by one, Maybe it can be the interesting for the future, but it's not easy at all because we are in 2025, and in 2025 it's a question of what we saw before.
Yeah, it's true. I agree with you. Money is an open secret. So coming to that, like, many retail brands, luxury or premium brands, they are more focusing on sustainable. They're using the tag sustainable more as a branding. And you yourself has your agency. It's Le Parisien, Le Gentle Parisiens, if I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it. So how do you make sure that you are saying truth? For example, if I am your client, then how do I believe? Like being one of the entrepreneur, what are the measures you take to make your brand as authentic as it promise?
Mm. Yes, transparency, traceability are maybe the key points. Um, And some of them are showing, for example, what money they earn, what they pay for production, and so on, so on. You've got different elements like this, not only in fashion. In You have it for food as well. Some brands asking you, are showing you how many euros will go to the producer, how many for the communication agency, and so on and so on. So I think we can do, but for this, the problem is it takes energy. It takes time to explain everything. When you explain, you don't work, So it's maybe it can be difficult, but I think it's important, and it's a strategy. Of course, you can choose this strategy. You can choose the strategy showing and explaining nothing, but presenting only the final product. It's a question of choice. It's a question of mentality and philosophy. And for this reason, uh, the question is it's a case by case, I will say. It's according to the personality of the designer. If we speak of a brand, it's about what he wants for the future, for himself, and so on and so on. So I will say it can be. It's we can't give an answer for everybody. Each people do as he can and as he wants. So well, for this reason, it's a bit complicated to
Mhm.
give a global answer about it.
Okay, sure. So I still have a good, I still got a good answer. So, since you're saying the designers, of course, designers play the crucial role in the fashion supply chain. So, what is the difference between, do you at least see the difference between a designer and an upcycling designer? And if there is a design difference, what recommendations would you give to an upcycling designer being a designer?
Yes, we have
Whose
a
job,
different.
whose job is more challenging?
Oh, of course. You know the answer. You know the answer.
Mhm.
Of course, it's more challenging because in fact, when you work with sustainability, because you have to fight against the greenwashing, as we spoke before. We have to fight with a market, a difficult market. You have to fight with clients who don't want to pay more than they decided. So it's of course more complicated. It's more complicated, but at the same time, when you work in this way, when you go to bed at the end of the day, you can be proud of yourself, and you put your small stone on the wall. Of course, it's very small, but it's on. So it's very important. For this reason, it's question of personality of each people. It's question. It's really case by case. We can't say, of course, to be a designer, a traditional designer, I would say, is of course very difficult as well, because you've got you got to sell your products. You have to make a turnover for the company and so on and so on. But all those problems when work in sustainability, you have these problems plus the different other problems concerning sustainability. So it's a question um, of passion. I think uh, uh, this kind of designers, these designers I know, they, they are very passionate about it. It's a question of passion. It's yes, it's the fight of their life. So and it's important to see that.
So it is challenging for everyone. So what is an alternative solution? So my entire study is about the alternative solution. So I'm proposing upcycling business model. The brands who completely work on upcycling the products and reselling, like upcycling and thrifting business model. So don't you think this model could be a best alternative to support sustainability? What do you think that this model has the potential moving forward? Can it tackle overconsumption, overproduction uh, of the supply chain?
Yeah, I think uh, let me think about it.
It's okay.
Um, um, we can. Mm, mm, mm. Can you repeat your question, please?
So I'm saying business models like thrifting and upcycling business models
Yeah.
are there are many thrift brands which are opening moving forward. And could you think this could be an alternative to promote sustainability, particularly in vintage brands? Like, in Paris, you have seen like very many stores who are reselling the second-hand luxury products. So this is preventing not only luxury, I'm saying that, they are premium thrift brands, but my intention is to get it to the lifestyle brands. They were like brands particularly in denim, like Levi's has already started the repair service, but the problem is that they only offer their repair service for the Levi's products. If I take a diesel or Calvin Klein denim to a Levi's store to repair it or upcycle it, they will say that we don't do it. So
Mhm.
to tackle this, that I want to start a brand which work on upcycling, let's say a denim brand which completely manufactures collecting the discarded material, add value, make every product one of a kind piece and resell it. So do you think this type of business model has a potential in future, and can it contribute in sustainability, and can it
Mm,
challenge
mm.
the traditional retail industry?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. In fact, what they do now concerning sustainability, you have spoken of the diesel, you have spoken of Levi's and so on. For me, it's not sustainability, it's communication. it's only communication, saying, oh, we are clean, we do this kind of elements for sustainability. And the first point. The second point is what make me happy with the future is the business of second hand. The second hand now in luxury or not, it's something interesting. It's something interesting. Personally, I think it's a very good idea because especially with leather goods, for example, the quality of a leather good from the 70s or the 80s is the quality is more is better than the quality of a leather good now. It's and the same with clothes. Uh, so to propose a brand uh, with not this vision of communication, but something very true, something very bah, sustainable with a big S, with a capital S. Uh, I think some clients are looking for that now. I think so because they are fed up with. We speak of. I don't remember the name. It's they are tired about luxury. It's you have a trend right now. I don't remember the name. Sorry, and people they are enough with luxury, which is not luxury, because the price are rising and the quality is down. And they are fed up with it. So they want real reality. They want something real. And uh, I guess I have spoken of pride before, and I think you've got people who want to be proud of what they buy and what they wear. And because today, personally, I'm not. I'm not because I don't know where the cotton is coming from. I don't know. Maybe it's made by Uyghurs in China, and this question of slavery and so on and so on. I'm not proud about it. So if I have, and I know people around me, if you give the evidences about what you propose concerning sustainability, transparency, and so on, they will buy it because they are looking for it. Yes, you've got a market for this because it's a question of education, a question of education. Um, Unfortunately, today, a lot of people are in the super conception, they buy and they trash and so on. For this reason, you've got the mass production, a lot of concerning clothes, but it's it's the same with a lot of products. And they don't mind. It's just a question of having something new, uh, put the picture on Instagram or TikTok, and then to have another one, and so on. And because they don't have the education or about what life is, or about the earth is not just a trash bin. It's and so on. So for this reason, uh, people from the past, for example, they were aware about quality. For example, when they used to buy something, they watch it in each detail and crochet it in the hand just to see the reaction of the fabric and so on and so on.
Today,
So, and
sorry to interrupt you. Today, we don't even know until the product delivers and until we try it.
absolutely not,
Because
absolutely,
mostly it's
because
online shopping.
exactly, because when you are a designer, uh, you have to do something with a new. It's not new anymore, unfortunately. But when you draw a new product, it has to be Instagrammable.
Mhm.
It's you don't mind the quality, you don't mind
Yeah.
but it has to be show off just to in the picture on Instagram or TikTok or so on. And today it's awful because that's the reality today. And at the same time, you've got the fast fashion who propose each weeks or each 2 weeks a new collections and so on. Then the rhythm of fashion, the global fashion, even in luxury, has changed. And for this reason, of course, when you are a luxury brand, you can't propose a collection each 2 weeks, but you do collaborations, you do capsule collections just to show novelties in your boutique, and this kind of products are selling only during 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then they are replaced by something new. And we can't do it anymore. But I thought remember during the COVID moment that people were aware about that. So I thought, yes, it's a new world is coming and so on and so on, but it's not the case, unfortunately.
Okay. So, since we already discussed about the communication, the branding, but end of the day, it is consumer who decide what to buy,
Absolutely,
what not to buy. So
exactly.
we can feed him, we can fill his Instagram, TikTok with sustainable stuff, sustainable content. But what are your recommendations for a consumer to take care before buying any product? Till now, we discussed about a retailer communicating to a consumer, but what recommendations do you give for today's consumers to be an ethical consumers?
The key to my mind is education. It's only education. Maybe we have to make a new topic, for children
Mhm.
to explain what quality is and so on. Because without education, it's you can make all the communication you want. You can explain everything. It's when we say in French, it comes in one ear and go out in another one
Yeah.
with nothing. So to me, really, the really response is education, really, and just for them to be aware what Earth, what the world is, and what it could be if they have a good behavior, or not if it's just a question of buying all the time, in fact.
So, if you're saying it is education, and if you got an opportunity to reshape the structure of education, what changes would you implement to promote the sustainability? Because, the foundation is important. Like, since beginning, you should focus more on the ethical consumption, ethical production, everything, and so on. So, what changes would you make if you got an opportunity to develop the sustainable, um, what do you say, network? in the education system, or let's say if you got to design an entire bachelor degree of fashion designing, what is your core subject?
I think in each, even uh, for little children at the beginning of the school, speaking of sustainability, I think it's important. And I think the more the children is young, the more the impact will be interesting because and we what we can see, sometimes we can see very young people that are more aware about it than old people, because old people they say, oh, it's not a problem, I don't mind, or why should I do this? Because people are traveling with planes all day long, and so on and so on. So to my mind, uh, young people are more interesting about it than old people. And concerning different courses, uh, I will say it's a mix between technical sustainability, I will say, and philosophy, because it's a question of philosophy, in fact, and it's a question of life.
Yeah.
And protecting our life, protecting the life of everybody. So it's question, yes, to my mind, it's really a question of philosophy and thinking about what life is, what the world is, and so on and so on. For me, it's very important to have this introspection again, as I said before, concerning sustainability and concerning consumption, in fact.
Mhm. So when coming back to upcycling, I'm sure you have remembered I have gifted you a pouch made with used denim. So I just want to ask you that what is your most favorite upcycling technique?
In fact, I like, yeah, a lot of things are interesting, but using, for example, dead stocks of fabrics, I think it's interesting because uh, because if we don't use them, you waste them. And I like the idea of making a new clothes with old clothes, and as you work. Um,
No, what is the most often technique? Like, do you like patchwork, embroidery, dyeing?
okay. Well, sorry. I like patchwork because I like when you see, and I like when you see on the garment or on the product, the past of this product. For example, when you've got, it's not. Something sometimes, and often it's not, very clean, very and I like it because you can imagine the story of the product before you buy it, or before you wear it. And for it gives you, because when we speak of luxury, we speak of emotion, and when we speak of fashion as well, it's not, you don't buy a clothes because you need a clothes. You buy a product because you want it, you desire it. And um, the story, for this reason, storytelling is very, very important. And the product itself is telling a story. When you see, I don't know, a jacket with patchwork fabrics, and some of them with I don't know, a detail from the past. Oh, it's interesting to imagine, trying to think about the people, the person who used to wear it before, in which country, and so on and so on. So it's not only a jacket you are buying, but it's a piece of history, and you can be proud to last this history, in fact, in a new way. So it's interesting to see. So I will say again, it's not a question of sustainability; it's a question of psychology in this sound. You know, it's just create emotion and playing with it. You know, you have the same with you see the upcycled paper, for example. You know, when you see the upcycling paper, you've got some elements inside. You know, it's not white. It's and it's interesting because it's concern for emotion is very strong. I think so. For
Mhm.
this reason, you've got two direction. Of course, you have the direction of it's good for the planet, etc. But there's the one. It's you are you belongs to you are a link between the past and the future,
Sure. Right.
just with small details, you know. And for this, it's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, of course, it's interesting. So my last question is that where do you see this business model of second-hand? The sector is unorganized so far. There are no big retailers who have taken the second-hand clothing segment as seriously. Do you think in future the big supply chains like Zara, H&M get into this business and make it a mainstream commercial business as they are doing right now? So if would you can we expect in future there are full-length retail brands who only work on the second-hand clothing? They collect the second-hand clothes, they upcycle it, they redesign it, they restructure it, and they put them on their stores, online websites to sell again. So do you think there is a potential for this?
I do. Yes, I do. You know, today the first sale reseller of concerning fashion is Vinted. Vinted is the number one concerning fashion industry. And for this reason, I think second hand now belongs to the spirit, belongs to our society. And uh, a lot of brands are started to work with this. For the moment, as I said before, it's only communication, because it's just to say, you know, we are clean, we do, yeah. But I think in the past, it will be more than communication. And something interesting concerning luxury, for example, I believe, and you can see small elements, I believe that each brand will manage the second hand of their product. You know, we already see this, for example, with clocks. Like Vacheron Constantin, you know, the famous watch brands, um, they sell in some boutiques some vintage products. And you've got also with children, I don't remember Bon Point or Bon Ton. You will say for children it's very easy, because a child use a jacket or a garment only 2 months, 3 months, and
But they
so
grow
it's
fast. Yeah.
exactly. But I think and I believe that all the brands can manage their own second hand, and and it could be not only just for communication, but a real business. And because I know people, for example, that today they buy only second-hand products. So it's for them, it's very important. So they buy everywhere, different shops or so on. And I think this business can be grow can grow in the future. Mm.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time. So I have that said. So this is a very useful information which you gave for me to understand the business, upcycling, and the future of upcycling. So thank you once again for your time.
With
And
pleasure.
so I'm going to cite this conversation in my paper and I'm gonna post it on my social platforms with your permission.
Oh no, my English is very bad. It's
No,
awful.
it's okay. It's okay. No issues.
And yes, and you will finish your
Hold on,
project.
let me stop the recording.